Listen, today we're going to talk about how those BBLs are making y'all look crazy and why cardio is an important tool to help you lose weight. Stop going to the gym, working out hard for 45 minutes, and then going straight to Popeyes. You're not going to lose weight like that.
Listen guys, we're trying to avoid all those unnecessary surgeries and those tummy tucks that kind of look like you got cement under your stomach. So stay till the end so you can get all 5 tips to help lose weight and get some cardio tips.
Tip number 1, too much steady state cardio. I see so many men and women come to me and tell me, hey, I'm walking 30,000 steps a day, but I can't seem to get the rest of this weight off. It's because you guys are not pushing yourselves. Eventually you're gonna have to pick it up. You're gonna have to do jump rope. You're gonna have to do sprints. You're gonna have to get your heart rate up. A lot of you guys, you're not getting that cardiovascular movement in. You're not getting that heart pumping, and that's why you can't really lose the weight, and that would even decrease the amount of time you need to be in the gym. You'll see somebody in the gym on the treadmill walking, watching a movie for 2 to 3 hours, and they haven't gotten their heart rate up, but you can go in the gym just for 45 minutes and really just get some sprints in and jump some rope for 10 minutes or 30 minutes and get just as much, if not even more work in. And I know a lot of you guys are like, you guys don't want to look crazy jumping rope or running sprints in the gym, but look at Ash. Like, Ash runs all the time and her form is crazy, and she still does it just to get her workout in. So
that's the first nice thing you've ever said about me.
With my mug on me. Oh, DD, oh, what it is? Oh, DD, what it is?
So yeah, y'all, like, get it in. Ash, what's your routine? What are things, do you feel awkward when you're running, or what's your routine like to really pick up your intensity?
So what I like to do actually is I do my sprints after my leg days, because sprinting, it actually uses the lactic acid that builds up in your muscles from the strength training as energy. So it breaks that down. That's what actually gives or causes more muscle soreness after your workout. So I do sprints once or twice a week, and then the other days for upper body, I do my lower intensity steady state, like the incline treadmill, on doing like a walking pace.
Yeah, guys, and that's tip number 1.
All right, guys, tip number 2, don't think that doing more cardio means that you can eat more. The only thing is that you have to think about it. The more cardio you do, you're going to probably have more of an appetite, but you just have to stay disciplined. Something's gonna have to give, whether you wanna do a cut and then also like not do as much cardio, or do hella cardio and not do a big calorie deficit. But you have to just be mindful of what you're still putting into your body. Like on my food tracking app, I actually have it set to where it doesn't take away the calories burned in the gym and add those back into my calories, because otherwise I'm just consuming those same calories that I just burned.
Listen guys, I see millions of people do this around the world. Stop going to the gym, working out hard for 45 minutes, and then going straight to Popeyes. You're not gonna lose weight like that. Please guys. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, the more you run, the more your appetite is going to increase. But you can do high volume vegetable consumption. So if you are feeling hungry, just consume more broccoli, consume more asparagus, consume more carrots, because that's not high in calories. Also, you won't be as hungry if you increase your protein intake. That's one that's going to help you keep your muscle and build muscle, and it's going to help you feel more satiated, so you'll feel less hungry at night. So that's tip number 2.
Also, eating more nutrient-dense foods will also help to keep you more satiated. So more of sweet potatoes instead of doing the regular white pasta or something like that.
Tip number 3, stop using cardio as your only tool to help you lose weight. Implement other things such as resistance training. That's your deadlifts, that's your squats, that's your bench press. You need to make sure you guys are doing progressive overload. Ash is going to explain progressive overload.
All right guys, so with progressive overload, you can implement this within your workout on the daily basis, but then also overall on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. So with my clients, I like to change the intensity bi-weekly. So say if you're a beginner and if the max you can squat is 50 pounds, then after those 2 weeks, then I want you to be doing 55 to 60 pounds with your squats, with the amount of sets and reps as the same.
Listen guys, progressive overload is an amazing tool that you can use with your resistance training to really help get results. And you can also do progressive overload with your cardio. A lot of you guys, sometimes like when I'm really trying to get lean out, I know if I have a trip coming up, I'm getting ready to go on vacation, I really want to cut my body fat percentage, I'll do progressive overload where typically I'll run 10 sprints, but maybe this week I'll do 15 sprints, or this week I'll do a resisted sprint where I have resistance holding me back to just increase the intensity. So that you always want to make sure you're implementing progressive overload, whether you're doing cardio and resistance training. But the most important thing that I want you guys to understand is these are just tools, and you want to really implement, you know, your cardio training, your resistance training, and even your nutrition. Your nutrition is a tool going into that calorie deficit, you know, below your maintenance to help you lose weight. Those are 3 great tools right there. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, guys, listen, stop going to the gym and winging it. A lot of y'all just go in the gym and say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of cardio a day, I'm gonna do 40 minutes of cardio a day. Like, you guys need to have a plan. Like, for me, my strength training schedule is I'm strength training 6 days a week, and I'm hitting my cardio 3 days a week. So it's very important that you're going with a plan, because there are a lot of days, you know, after I'm busy shooting a bunch of content, I don't feel like working out. But when I have my workout routine written down and scripted, I already know exactly what I want to do. Because a lot of times when you don't feel like it, you know, you just go in there kind of lazy, doing whatever. And you know, the weight room doesn't care. Like, you gotta put that work in on a daily basis. So like, having a strict routine, having a schedule holds you accountable, right?
It does. And also having a workout plan for yourself also helps with that last tip we just gave, a progressive overload. That'll help you with knowing what you've done in the past, like the past week, and just tracking all your results and your progress in the gym.
And that's tip number 4. Tip number five, along with increasing your cardio, you want to make sure that you go into a calorie deficit. Now, something that's been very helpful for me, Ash doesn't do it, is intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is when you fast anywhere from 16 to 18 hours a day, and then you eat for about 6 to 8 hours a day. So typically I don't have my first meal until about 12 p.m. and then I cut off around 6, 7 o'clock. So that's like 6, 7 hours of eating. That's been really helpful for me. I've seen a lot of results with that. Ash, what have you known?
Have more results and bigger muscles if you didn't do it.
What do you mean by that?
No, I look great, y'all. Don't listen to
You
her.
look good, I'm just saying.
What? Say it again?
I said you look good, but you
No, you ain't say you look good. What's been helpful for you doing cardio and being in a calorie deficit?
So I would say when I did body recomp, when I first started doing it, that's only a 10% calorie deficit, but also really high in protein. So I was able to lose body fat, but I was gaining muscle. So I went from 170 to 180 in the span of like 3 months. But people were saying, oh, you look slimmer. But I was also, again, implementing more cardio in my workouts too, which was also, I'm pretty sure, helping with my losing my body fat. But after I did that, I did a cut, and it's recommended typically to only do a 25% calorie deficit max of your maintenance. So also keep that in mind, because if you do.
So what were some of your numbers? Because you're saying percentages, but everyone may not know that. So when you went to 10 to 15% below your maintenance, what was that? And when you went 25% below your maintenance, what number was that?
So I believe my calorie maintenance was 2,700. So I was like 2,500 for my what is 10% calorie deficit, and then I think I put it down to 2,300 for like the 25% calorie deficit. But also then my calorie maintenance kind of went up because I went from 170 to 180. So the number, you also want to make sure you're tracking your weight too with that, because your maintenance is going to change based off of your weight as well. And it also does help if you do know your lean body mass.
Yes, guys. So when you do go, I'm going to provide a link in the description below so you can get your macro breakdown. But understand that that's your macro breakdown of your protein, fats, and your carbs for that day. Listen, I'm going to provide a link below that's going to allow you to track your protein, your fats, and your carbs and give you your macro breakdown. But understand your macros are going to change weekly, monthly, and even daily at times. So you really want to make sure you check your weight. I like to at least check my weight like every Monday, and then I'll put the numbers back in to the scale to see what my new macro breakdown is, and then go from there. Because like Ash said, when she started off, her maintenance was 2,700, but then as she gained weight, it went up to 2,800. So those are the easy tools that you guys can implement to really make sure you're staying in that calorie deficit. And those are just the little tips and tricks that you can use. And so listen, guys, you don't always have to track your calories. Something easy that I do when I don't feel like tracking, or if I'm on vacation, I reduce the amount of carbs that I consume on a daily basis. So I know that if I'm consuming 150 grams of protein a day, and I know that typically I have six cups of rice, then I'll just reduce it down to 4 cups of rice. So that's something that I can easily do if I'm in a rush, I don't feel like tracking my calories, to make sure I'm in that calorie deficit. And that's tip number 5. All right, guys, so listen, those are the 5 cardio tips that we use to help us reduce body fat percentage and get that weight down. Stay tuned, man. Listen, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification button. Thanks for showing love. We locked in. Ash, thanks for coming out.
Of course.
Yes, sir. Content Performance, we out.